Howdy ho there, Booktube. We're here today to do my first ever official full Booktuber recommends video. I have done like Booktube shoutouts in other videos in the past, but I've never done just a straight up like shout out Booktube love fest video all on its own before. So that's what this is. I have 5 Booktube channels that I'm going to tell you about. A lot of these channels have more subscribers than I do. A couple of them may have less. That's not what this is about. This is about spreading the love to you guys about some channels that I watch every time one of their videos pop up and that I really enjoy. So let's get started. The first one is Amanda from Amanda Center. And of course I will link all of these channels down below. And I also will recommend a recent video that they've done that I think you should kind of start with that I really enjoyed. Yeah. So like I said, the first Booktube shout out is to Amanda from Amanda Center. I love Amanda. I love Amanda's videos. She is so incredibly thoughtful and so incredibly well-spoken and eloquent in the way that she expresses her opinions that sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter what her opinions are. I just love to hear her speak about them. Oh, and I have notes in a notebook if you're wondering why I'm looking down all the time. She's just, and I say this with all the love in the world, she's wonderfully, wonderfully odd. She has such varied taste and she enjoys so many different things and she speaks about them all with such passion and such love that I definitely think that she's worth checking out, and she will definitely kind of help spark some of your enthusiasm for reading and for writing and for the written word and all of those things. Definitely check out her 2016's Bookolutions video, in which she talks about like making bookish resolutions, keeping them, not keeping them, how she does it, all of those kinds of things. The second person on my list is Paul from A Common Touch of Fantasy. Paul mainly reads sci-fi and fantasy, mainly fantasy, usually older fantasy, but he's getting more into and trying to keep up with some of the newer stuff. He also does these, or he started doing really great video game live streams. So if that's a thing that you're interested in, or a way that you like to consume story in your life and consume narrative is through video games, Paul would definitely be a great person to check out. I love watching Paul's review videos because he has a very thorough and explicit way that he goes through the books that he reviews and talks about them and rates them and explains why certain books get certain things and all of that. And so I really, really kind of take or use his book reviews as role models for my own, because I think that they're very clear, very detailed, and very insightful. He recently did what he called the first 20 of The Red Knight by Miles Cameron, which is where he read for 20 minutes from the first part of the book and then did kind of like a response to it. And I really like that. Paul recently has been doing more videos where he kind of experiments with reading out loud, crowd participation, showing you or reading to you from the books at hand. And I just think that that's such a creative idea. So definitely go and check out that video that I will have linked down below. The third person I want to recommend is Kayla from Heroic Pages. Kayla reads a lot of YA. She's one of the few YA bloggers or booktubers that I go to see like what she's reading and how she's reacting. We have very, very similar taste, and she's incredibly, incredibly honest. She recently did a video about like depression and dealing with depression and how she copes and some of her various coping mechanisms. I don't really struggle as much with depression as I do with anxiety, but I still really admire like her bravery and her willingness to speak and her openness, and she's done other videos in the past kind of along those same lines. So definitely go check out Kayla from Heroic Pages. The fourth person is somebody who you have heard me mention in the last couple months on this channel more than probably anybody else, and that is Brittany from Under the Radar Books. I adore Brittany. I would consider her one of my best booktube friends, one of my book like soulmates. She and I read a lot of the same books. We have a lot of the same things in common. She has a couple of kids, one of whom, Emma, is very, very close to the age of my son, Will. So we're able to kind of share some parenting stuff there. I don't know what, I'm talking so much with my hands. Sorry, it's probably distracting. It's distracting me and I'm doing it. But yeah, I just absolutely adore the way that Brittany speaks about the books that she reads and the books that she wants to read. Brittany is one of those people who anytime she does a haul, I know that I have to have like my Amazon tab open on the side so I can pop over and buy whatever great book it is that she's talking about. She's also a very big Book Riot and Liberty Hardy fan, so we just have a lot in common that we can kind of share ground on, and I would go check out her recent discussion on reading slumps, because she and I share a lot of the same tips for how to bring yourself out of the reading slump, and she gives a lot of really good title recommendations. So if that's kind of a place that you're in, or if you've been in before, definitely go check out that video. And the fifth and final person is another male booktuber, because there aren't nearly enough male booktubers in the community. That is James from James Chatham. James and I have been in a Voxer group together for like 6 months now, 7 months now, just chatting with a bunch of other people, kind of shooting the shit. And he is really funny. James is incredibly funny, and he speaks incredibly well about the books that he is reading. He reads a lot of science fiction and fantasy. He's also very, very into music. That's maybe one of the things that I really, really enjoy the most about James' channel, is that in addition to books, he is also talking about bands that he likes and music and vinyl that he's purchased. In the past, he has done videos of himself playing the guitar. He hasn't done one in a very long time, I think because of like YouTube copyright bullshit, but if you can go back and find one of those videos, I highly recommend it. If not, I would recommend starting with his top 15 in 2015. I think that'll give you a really good kind of taste of both his reading style and the way in which he speaks about books. So yeah, definitely go check out James and give him a little bit of love, because we need all the male representation in BookTube that we can get, because there, like I said, there aren't a lot of dudes out there doing this. So yeah, those are 5 booktubers that I love, that I will automatically watch anytime they put out a video. Please go check them out. Send them all the love, all the subscribes, all the kisses. See what they have to say. And then come back here and let me know that you did. I just love this community, and I know a lot of other people out there love this community and want this community to be as full of positivity as it can possibly be. Sometimes there are some negative Nancys out there, and the only way I've found to combat that is not to feed the trolls, but to try and supplant them with love and affection. So yeah, definitely go check these booktubers out. Comment down below if you have a really great kind of underknown booktuber that you think deserves a shout out, and I will be happy to go check them out. Otherwise, you can like, subscribe, and check me out all over the internet. All right, guys. Bye.